Hey, Melo, before we get to all the threes and such, I just wonder what your perspective was on that whole sequence where LaMelo ended up taking the 5 straight free throws.
Shit, I don't even. We got 2 texts. It was a lot going on at that particular moment. It was just a lot of passion, a lot of yelling, a lot of screaming, trying to figure it out. And Melo got 5 free throws, so that was a big part of the game, especially coming down the stretch.
Spent some time talking about the way you feel shooting the ball in this building, and 7 more threes tonight. You're 3rd in the league so far in made threes overall. All but 1 have come in this building. How have you wrapped your mind around where you're getting the shots, the rhythm that you're in, and how that's been a part of the season so far?
Well, I'm just taking advantage of it. I'm not thinking about it. Just playing ball, catching and shooting. Not giving the defense a chance to get back out and close out. It's just something that I've always worked on. People don't see it, but I always work on that part of my game, and you guys are actually seeing it more often now. So I feel good, man. I feel like I'm in a great rhythm. I feel like I'm just taking advantage of what's out there on the offensive end. My teammates is believing in me and finding me, and they leaving it up to me to knock those shots down.
Melo, just how open are these looks that you're getting this year?
Well, they're open. Some of them are coming in like transition when the defense is all the way back, me trailing into the 3. Some of them are coming off of the attention that Russ and AD, and even when Brown was playing, the attention that those guys get. It's just a matter of me just getting to the right spot, and those guys finding me at that point.
Is Staples Center a good shooter's gym?
I always thought Staples was a good shooter's gym. Even back in the day, I used to think Staples was a good shooting gym. But it's different when you're an opponent as opposed to home team. And now I'm on the other side of that. So you get that energy, you get that momentum, you get the crowd behind you, you get your teammates behind you, and that's what we need. That's the Lakers basketball that we need to play hard, get the crowd into it, because we want to make this a tough place to come in and play.
Melo, something that has a lot of us amazed, and well, especially me, you were almost out of the league a couple of years ago, man.
I know.
No one wanted you.
I think about that every day.
Really?
Yeah.
And so what does it mean to you to be at this point where you're playing this well when everyone thought that Carmelo Anthony was done?
Well, the problem with that is everyone else thought that. I never believed that. You know what I'm saying? It's something that I took that on the chin. I dealt with it. I lived with it. Played the scenarios all through my head for months. But I never doubted myself in anything that I did. So I always stayed solid on who I am, what I can do, and if the right situation for that came, then I was taking that situation at that point, which was Portland. They opened their doors up to me, and they gave me the same opportunities.
Malika on Zoom.
Hey, Melo. You mentioned, following up on Dave's question, that Staples is a shooter's gym, but you've played, the Garden, you had that behind you, Moda Center, which is largely considered one of the best crowds in the league, you had that behind you. At what point did you realize, just every time you're in Staples, it seems like the crowd inhales and exhales with every shot you take, did that start to feel like a different thing than maybe what you've experienced in the past, or is it?
Yeah, it's different. When I was in New York, it was a different. It was a similar feeling, but it was a different type of feeling in New York. The energy, the crowd was always there. The intensity of the crowds in New York is different. Portland is a lot different, a little bit more laid back, but they're very passionate. Their fans are very passionate. They get behind their players. And Staples has always been different. And also the team that we have. It almost keeps me sharp. I got to stay on top of my game, knowing that. The personnel that I have alongside me, that I have to do what I have to do best in order for us to have a good chance to win it. And as long as I do that, I think we'll be okay.
Melo, Frank was telling, and maybe he was being a little tongue-in-cheek, but I think it was serious, is that one of the reasons he likes having you off the bench is because how into it the crowd gets, and there's sort of a surge of energy that comes even when you get to the scorer's table.
That's the only reason?
But
Come on, Frank.
I guess for you, I know it was an adjustment coming off the bench. Is that something when you hear just the crowd just anticipating you checking in? Is that something that makes it worth it?
It wasn't, coming here wasn't an adjustment coming off the bench. I've accepted that coming here. The first time I've come off the bench, it was a hard time coming off the bench. It was something that I didn't know how to react to. I didn't know how to respond to. It was something foreign to me. It was something that I've never done before, outside of playing with the USA team. But that was totally different. But having that experience coming off the bench and understanding and being able to see the flow of the game and what's needed and the energy that's needed to come off the bench and just coming in there and just fitting right in. I've adapted to that. I've accepted that, especially before I came here when I got that call. So coming off the bench is something that I've accepted. You know, I don't even think about it. I haven't thought about it. It's just something that's what's best for this team.
Last question, Bill.
Melo, AD shared with us that he threw up between the third and fourth quarter, or at the end of the third quarter, he
Today?
said. Yeah. And just for a guy who...
I didn't know that. Okay.
So well, maybe now I need you to project on this question then. But for a guy who's battled, a label as of not being tough throughout his career, what does that sort of leadership demonstrate in those moments? Obviously the way he played, obviously down the stretch and in overtime.
Well, I mean, I don't know who questioned that about him. Maybe you guys question. Maybe you guys write that and question that. But I'm around him. I know what type of player he is. I know what type of person he is. It's a lot on him. I mean, he is one of the leaders of this team. But again, you broke the news to me again. I didn't know he threw up in his dirt. That's 2 times. I didn't know he threw up. But for him to do that and still come back and help us win this game and get this victory, that just says a lot about him. I think a lot of times we find a narrative and we try to stick to it when it comes to athletes. And I know he's not soft. I know he's tough. I know if he's out there and he can play, he's going to play. So that's the only thing that matters to me.